Why do you play tennis? What do you play tennis on a court with? You play with a racket. This reason why is because everything is a racket. The whole thing is a racket. You think it's by chance that these words and terms are used? You better go back and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to a fine episode of yours truly, Established 1983 Lives. Because yes, my friends, I am living on this glorious day. This the day that is the climactic one in this thing called Le Grand Prix. You may hear people celebrating outside. We're at the studio, as you know, and don't be alarmed. That's just the sound of people having a good time and enjoying themselves. I had a lovely afternoon. Went to a birthday party with my little guy, and I was sitting there in the backyard talking to some adults while watching my little guy and my buddy's little girl hit it off and have a full-on conversation. From a distance you see their lips moving and talking to each other. It's just wonderful. I mean, I'm all about arranged marriages. So little Fitzroy's got a couple of Chiquitas lined up for him if and or when he's ready. No, not if and or, but rather when he's ready. And he's doing okay so far. So you keep on doing you, boo-boo. And I'm here doing my late night studying. And I thought I'd do a little revision and go back on someone that I have a lot of respect for and have learned a lot of information from. Certain people you listen to and you just say, wow, like, this guy's really onto something. There's something about their way of being that just feels right. And I've mentioned this gentleman to a lot of people, and I keep recommending him as a great source into uncovering the truths about the occult and just the way things really work. So I thought I'd share a few minutes of this with you, and of course, as usual, link in the description below. And listen to some Jordan Maxwell right here, from me to you. We hope you enjoy it.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Can you hear me? Good. First of all, I want to thank you for being here. And thank Wendy for inviting me to speak with you tonight. Realizing that many of my subjects are rather controversial at best, and more often than not, I tend to offend some people when I don't really mean to. But I have dedicated my life to uncovering facts about life and the life that we live. Steve Allen once said that there are two kinds of facts, the kind you look up and the kind you make up. And too much of our world is comprised of educated people who are teaching facts which are made up. They have no basis in actual fact. And in the Jewish religion, there's a concept in Judaism that says if you tell a lie when under testimony, then your entire testimony is to be thrown out. Because if you lie one time, you're just a liar. and consequently your testimony is of no value, period. That being the case, there is a maxim in Roman law. I want to read this to you. In Roman law, there is a maximum that says, "Let him who wishes to be deceived, be deceived." So that was an article of Roman law. If you're so stupid that you want to buy into something and be deceived, hey, go ahead. That's up to you. Let me give you an example of how we are being manipulated and exploited by people who would present their notions as true and point of fact having no factual basis at all. Here in the Talmud, in the book of the Talmud, in Gittin, Gittin, which is the name of a book within the Talmud, Gittin 57b says this. Now this is the Holy Talmud of the Hebrews. And Gittin 57b says, quote, that 4 billion Jews were killed by Romans in the city of Bethar, Bethar. 4 billion Jews were killed by the Romans in the city of Bethar. 4 billion Jews killed. In Gittin 58a, the Talmud says, quote, that 16 million children were wrapped in scrolls and burned alive by the Romans, end quote. 16 million children burned by the Romans, 4 billion people killed. As far as I'm concerned, it is part and parcel of what I have come to learn about theology in the 43 years I've been looking at theology. There's a very important question you might want to ask yourself. How important is it really to know the truth about anything, especially in America? How really important is it to know the truth, the factual truth about anything? If you have a rope and you're going to ship a heavy box, you take the rope and you wrap the box up with it. Most likely that rope is going to be sufficient to ship any kind of a box. But if you're going to take that rope out to the edge of a 10-story building and you're going to hang your body off the building on that rope, now you better check the integrity of that rope, because now you're hanging your life on it. Consequently, if you own the 2nd-story building and you're up on the 2nd floor and you're going to put a lot of heavy weight on that floor, the smart thing to do, logically would tell you, is to go up on the go down to the 1st floor and get on a ladder and pull the ceiling tiles away and check the foundations of that floor to see if the weight is going to be too much for the floor, to make sure that it's going to be able to hold that weight. So what you're doing is you're standing under the foundation. And this is where we get the concept of the word understanding. In order to truly understand something, you need to stand under it and see what it's really based on before it all falls down on you and collapses. Again, I will ask the question, how important is it to know the truth about anything, especially about God? Because so many people in this country talk about worshiping God and having a relationship with the divine and have no concept of what the Bible actually teaches, of what the ancient Hebrews actually believed, what the ancient cultures taught. And consequently, what we have today is not we don't have a country of laws. We're told that Moses gave us the law, and so many people are following the Mosaic law. We don't have a nation of laws. No one has understanding. Nobody's tested the rope. People just believe whatever it is they've been told. And it never occurred to anyone to think about why is it that we can understand if someone's born in the middle of China that they wouldn't know about God, or they wouldn't know about our understanding, they wouldn't know about the New Testament. What about someone born in the wilds of Africa? They wouldn't understand our beliefs and our belief systems. Well, what makes you think that your belief system is any better than theirs? Again, one needs to do their homework on what we believe and where these beliefs have come from. Let me give you an example, and I've given this example here before. I think it's appropriate again. When we believe in our judicial system, all American law is collected in something called corpus juris secundum. Corpus juris secundum is a huge, voluminous set of American laws, and it's the bottom line on all of American law. Under the subheading in corpus juris secundum, under attorney and client, says this: an attorney has an obligation to the court and to the government no less significant than his obligation to his clients. Thus, an attorney occupies the dual position which imposes dual obligations. His first duty is to the court and to the government, and not to his client. And whenever the duties of his client conflict with those he owes as an officer of the court, the former must yield to the latter. So if you're in court and your attorney is doing something you don't like, it just don't matter. He's not working for you. He's an officer of the court. He works for the government. Now, under attorney and client, it goes on to say, a client is one who applies to an attorney or a lawyer for counsel or advice in the direction in a question of law. Therefore, if you hire an attorney, you are known as a client by law. It goes on to say that the clients are called wards of the court in regard to their relationship with their attorneys. So if you hire an attorney, you're a client. And if you're a client, you are referred to by law as a ward of the court, end quote. Black's Law Dictionary, under the heading of wards of the court, says, a ward of the court is an infant or a person of unsound mind. So if you hire an attorney by law, you're an idiot.
Oh, Jordan Maxwell, man, you're awesome. You're awesome. So that's it. I'm gonna end it here, and check this one out. It's great. 2 hours and 20 minutes and 28 seconds of your life that you will not regret giving your ear and your attention to this gentleman. So thank you for tuning in. I bid you all a fantastic June 11th. No, it's the 10th actually. So happy June 10th, everybody. Happy June 10th. I'm gonna be doing a live streaming on the 12th, which is Tuesday, which is an official art exhibit vernissage at the Art House. So be sure to tune in between, let's say, 8 and 10 p.m. Okay? Hey, this is announcement. Announcement, everybody. If you're still here, that's what's going on. So, till next time, thank you for tuning in. Jordan Maxwell, thank you for your wisdom, your knowledge, and your contribution to humanity. Everybody else who's never heard of this gentleman, do yourself a favor and check him out. Till next time, see you soon. Oh. We get a response 36 minutes ago, no less. Of course it is. Yes. All right, guys. Till next time.